For WeAreSC.com, I'm Angel Viscarra, joined by Darrell, Rideaux, and Garry Paskwietz, previewing USC's Friday night contest with Washington State. And Garry, we were here in the same place last week talking about how much of a must-win game Austin was going to be for the Trojans. Obviously, USC wasn't able to convert there. How much is this week's game a must-win game for the Trojans?
Oh, it's huge, Angel. There's no doubt about it. You lost in dramatic fashion 2 weeks in a row, and now you're coming home against a Washington State team that is capable of throwing the ball around and put up some points. One thing that's going to be interesting, in the friendly confines of the Coliseum, it's not going to be an 80,000 crowd on Friday night. And so the Trojan players themselves and the coaches, too, are going to have to manufacture that energy, manufacture that emotion, and really come out ready to play, particularly in the first half. I think that's going to be key. This is a team that needs a win right now. You can't come in and play unprepared and played sloppy. I can't wait to see how they come out.
All right, Darrell, and knowing that Washington State's likely going to come in as a fighter who's saying, I've got nothing to lose, how much does that change things and make things difficult for USC?
Well, I think if you're USC, you have to focus on the mantra, hear no evil, speak no evil, and see no evil. Simply because there's a lot of white noise coming outside of this program right now, and rightfully so. Many of the issues with this team right now seem to be self-inflicted. Situations where when things don't go right for USC and they're unable to capitalize, they haven't quite figured out a way on how to respond to that. So playing at the confines of the Coliseum, expect the veterans and the seniors to step up and really try to set the tone early.
All right, and we saw him riding around on the cart during practice today. Chase McGrath, we found out he tore his ACL in that loss to Texas. Knowing that your kicker's out, knowing you're going to need to score a lot of points against Washington State, who they're going to put up their fair share of points too, how important is it for USC to finish drives in the red zone?
As important as anything, like you say, because that is an area that USC has struggled so far, somewhat surprisingly. So you're looking for a couple things. JT Daniels only has one touchdown pass this year, putting up big numbers, big yards, but yeah, finish those drives. I want to see the running game get going at some point, and that includes the offensive line. That has obviously been a point of struggle so far this year, but the running game gave you that hope early against Texas and helped set the tone. I'd like to see the commitment to the run game early in the first half and keep it going.
All right, USC has had some well-documented struggles on the offensive side, but Darrell, Washington State's going to come in high-powering on offense. How important is it going to be for the secondary especially to hold their own against this Washington State team?
I think the challenge and the onus is on the secondary to hold their own. You know, instead of retreating out there, give the defensive line an opportunity. Short of Porter Gustin playing in the first half, I think it's going to be very important that the corners contest every short pass that Washington State throws. Make it very hard and disrupt the timing and rhythm that Washington State likes to run with. And if they're able to do that, to give that defensive line a spell, perhaps a hand up for deflections, it may even give them an opportunity for a sack.
All right, and from the secondary to the trenches to the edge, no Porter Gustin in the first half of this week. How important is it for USC to get a pass rush against Washington State?
Well, when you hear the stat about the Washington State offense that they've attempted close to 180 passes and only given up 2 sacks, it tells you their quarterback is getting rid of the ball early. So you don't have a lot of chance to disrupt that timing. You need to get in there sooner. Without Porter, are you looking at Hunter Eccles? Are you looking at the interior with a Christian Rector, maybe a Brandon Peely, a Jay Tufele, who has shown some stuff so far? I'm very anxious to see how Clancy dials that up. Clay Helton talks about the zone pressures that other teams are running. I'd like to see us get some of those pressures as well.
All right, Darrell, and as we start to wrap up, let's talk a little bit about the offensive struggles for balance, especially through these first 3 weeks. What have you seen there?
Well, I thought that this offense showed a lot of maturity, at least during the scripted plays, the first few possessions against Texas. We saw a lot of boots and waggles, and much of that rhythm for JT Daniels came off of the success of the running game. The 2 early rushing touchdowns, I think, really kind of set the tone. When USC got away from that, they became enamored by the pass. Now, don't get me wrong, with the likes of an Amon-Ra St. Brown, or who I like to call third down St. Brown, his presence on the field creates that much-needed third option for JT Daniels, creating necessary spacing. And it should give USC the confidence to commit to the running game, because it was that running game that allowed for JT Daniels to throw in rhythm, and it forced the defense to have to respect it. If he continues to do that, this offense behind T. Martin as the offensive coordinator, dialing up balanced attacks, I think that this offense, the best of them, is yet to come.
All right, well, we'll be at the LA Memorial Coliseum this Friday night as USC looks to bounce back after 2 tough losses. Keep it tuned to WeAreSC.com for previews leading up to the ball game and a post-game analysis by your 3 truly. But for Angel Viscarra, Darrell Rideaux, Garry Paskwietz, you're watching WeAreSC.